I don't know if you can hear that. I'm kind of curious to see what the sound like. The sound is different tonight. So, I'm off the bottom of the screen. Why is that always feeling like it's a complication of a positioning? All right. The ramblings. Can you hear that? It's the nut job in the next room. So you'll probably hear some of that. I don't know if you can hear me differently tonight. I'm kind of curious to see how this comes. I put some different settings on the microphone. So I'm kind of curious about that. It might be too quiet for you to hear, but I can hear it. Anyway, so let's see. Desktop, documents. Let's do I have the year planning? Oh, the weird dreams is still there. I had another weird dream the other night, actually. Okay, so documents. What did I name this project? The monthly projects that I were hoping to do for 2020. Did I lose that file? Oh god, that would suck so bad. Okay, so it must be in this folder somewhere. This week. Draft super. I can't remember. Can you hear that? Okay, so now monthly challenges. There we go. I think that's the one we're looking for. So, monthly challenges. Yep, there we go. January animations. I was contemplating, like, the thing we were talking about once before was how we're going to do those projects and if there's judging or prizes or whatnot involved. So I feel like the way I want to do it is you do not have to put your creation up for judging, but I want it to be an option for doing so. Okay, so the things we have to keep in mind is when are we running the contests? What's the goal to be achieved? What's the prize? And in this case, I think what we're aiming for is multiple categories of winner. Now, physical prizes, I think, are going to be negligible. The goal isn't to get a rare item, I don't think. Although, actually, that's not a bad idea. Hang on, let's go out here to make. What do we call those? Those are custom coins. Challenge coin, I think is what they call them. Yes, I actually asked you to go forward to the link that I clicked on. Don't make this a 20-minute wait. So I think the way I kind of want to go forward with this is, so like challenge coins, what's the price range on challenge coins here? Dude, shut up. Singing louder doesn't make it more on key. Okay, so challenge coins we've made. Yeah. Do you have pricing? Fine. Let's just give this a shot. I don't know why it's no. I had to do a special quoted, design. Nope, not doing that crap right now. Let's go back out to Game Crafters. I know they're predominantly game tokens. Honestly, now that I think about it, I would be willing to bet you I could go down to the makerspace and take a piece of certain types of acrylic, run them through the laser cutter, and cut out tokens. So what I'd want to do for certain competitions for the monthly challenges is to have the chance for anybody to win, sort of like in National Novel Writing Month, where the challenge is to beat the challenge to achieve the goal. 50,000 words at the end of the month, a 5-minute animated short by the end of the month. Those, anybody can win those levels. And for that kind of thing, maybe a printable certificate, something simple like that. Past that, the idea of being able to enter what you've created into a judged competition for a prize, that's more of what we're talking about at this point. Now, would we do something along the lines of like a best in show? Or I'm thinking this would be more along the lines of special achievement. Sort of like merit badges, I think is what we're looking at. So it's not you beat everybody. Well, maybe. I guess for each category, you really do want just one. So you do want maybe top 3 for each category. But you would set aside certain categories, like animation would be stop motion animation, digital animation, a illustrated animation, and I'm actually thinking this is almost more like the Oscars, where they give you awards for different categories. Let's look that up. Oscar categories. I think they have a butt ton of categories for Oscar categories. So there are 24 categories. Presently, the Academy Awards ceremony has 24 categories in which winners are announced. Apart from that, yet another set of award known as the Student Academy Awards, is also presented by the Academy. So that's a lot. 24 is a little bit much, but that's like Best Actor in a leading role, Best Actor in a supporting role, Best Actress in a leading role, Best Actress in a supporting role, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Animated Feature, Best Animated Short, Best Art Director, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Director, Best Documentary Feature. And so for things like the animation um, uh, competition, like we can eliminate like Best Actor, Best Actress, um, and costuming and those types of categories. So you could probably narrow it down pretty substantially. I think having like 3 categories of award. Well, would we do like first, second, and third position for different types of creation, and then have professional improv? Like, I want there to be like categories for like students and young people. Like, I want it to be possible for a 13-year-old to make a stop motion animation or a stick figure animation and enter it in to be judged. And I want it to be not in direct competition with some guy who does animated YouTube videos monthly. Like, I want there to be a space between those two groups so that there isn't that sort of unfair competition. And I do feel like I could probably get an acrylic sheet and make the awards for that. Or even, I do think if I remember correctly, there are ways you can do a skim coat on aluminum. So if I could get a thin piece of aluminum stock, skim coat with something, and then burn through that, I think I could probably make some awards that we could do. I could just do acrylic sheet. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I feel like what are the other? No, okay, so I was looking through the. Oh, so you can even order 6mm acrylic shapes from a Game Crafters for like $8. 3mm acrylic components for like $5 to $6 in some cases. And some gaming component chits and D6s, circle shards. Cardstock equivalents could be quite cheap. The goal, though, would be to not have to ship out large quantities to different people claiming rewards. So let's see, large circle chits, CHIT. I should spell that because I know that's a word that sounds off. How's the audio working, by the way? Audible? No. So I will see if I can switch this over to the standard setting and see if that's significantly different. I don't imagine it does too much. Hex tiles. Okay. Okay, let's look at pricing. Cards, books, dials, mats, packaging, parts, punch outs, screens and stickers. Parts. 1 3mm acrylic shapes with 20 inches of cutting would be $5, about $6 each. So that's not a really bad. That's not a bad cost for the whole thing. So I could really figure out pretty quickly what the cost for that would be. And I can also look at the possibility of doing a simple, not quite homemade version of the cutouts using the Makerspace laser cutter. Because I'm pretty sure I can do acrylic sheets in the Makerspace laser cutter and cut out the custom. Like I would have to design some custom shapes with custom artwork. I could probably do them all the same shape and do first, second, and third in different categories and for different levels of skill, I guess. I don't know how you can. I don't know how we could fairly assess who falls into what category of skill. But one of my friends oftentimes says you have to expect that at a certain level, this isn't a monetary prize. So people aren't going to cheat usually for a no prize. You can probably 3D print something too. So I think the fastest and easiest version of that for this time would be to. Okay, so I think actually a good source of information about some of this would be how do they prizes for cosplay competitions. Okay, so cosplay contests. Okay, so general guidelines, you must purchase and be in possession of a valid badge. So in that the version of that, so basically what I'm looking up is the list for a type of convention that uses cosplay competitions as part of their draw. And usually it's basically you have to have a valid badge to be at the convention. In this case, you have to enter what you created into the competition for judging. So if you are 13 years or younger, so we can set an age gate. And that age gate would be if you're under 18 years old, roughly, or maybe even under 16. I forget if the rules for I think you have to be 18 years or older to enter into any kind of contract in the United States. So if they're under 18, they have to get parental consent to enter into. Okay, so 75% of the cosplay must be constructed or altered by you. The skill division is strictly enforced. If you are deemed above the skill level of the division you have entered by the judges, you will be automatically moved up to the next division. Okay, so I think this is actually a decent model for how I would do any judging. So skill levels and types of like doing like best stop motion, best hand drawn, best computer animated work. And like do those types of things. So some categories for each of those in age groups, I guess, or skill levels is really where we want to go. Skill division, and then those are really where all the judging happens. Anybody who wishes to do the competition just to achieve the goal, there would be a simple print out your own reward sort of a list of achievement, and maybe even a sort of a, like I do think with National Novel Writing Month, there is that sort of verifier, your word count verifier. So you have to cut and paste and upload a PDF of what you've created, and it'll count the words for you, and the word total is verified. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where like it doesn't matter. So it's possible that somebody could just cut and paste excerpts from Moby Dick, and then it will verify the word count, and nobody can check the work because it's deleted when it's verified. It's not something that they're not paying anybody, or nobody's volunteering their time to sit there and fish through and manually count, make sure everybody's not padding their work with Mary Had a Little Lamb every chapter. It's nobody's double checking this stuff, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is verifying that you did what you said you did, and then you can say, I achieved it, and you print out a certificate saying you did something. Like the certificate amounts to nothing. It's not a diploma. It's not anything you can put on your resume. It has no monetary value. It costs nothing. If you want to cheat to do that, it only makes you look sad. So, like that kind of level of, you challenge yourself to do something. Did you achieve it? Get a reward, get a token of some kind. And that's the bulk of what's going to happen. To have a judged portion of that, where people who are willing to put their work up to be judged could get an award. I don't know. I don't know if it even makes sense to bother with going to that level. But maybe do like a leaderboard. Like, I don't feel like I need to worry about sending out physical trophies to the winners. But having a leaderboard where it's sort of like the top, it's like doing an episode on YouTube where you can see those top 5 such and such episodes on YouTube. Like, I think that's probably as far as we need to go. I think if we really wanted to at some point in the future, we can upgrade to physical trophies. And that alleviates some concerns, because it's hard to say, like, give a trophy to people who maybe don't want you to know where they live. Like, I can't ship it to them or give it to them in person if I'm going to open this up to anybody anywhere. And if it's somebody under the age of 18 who does an amazing job and wins first prize in the category, I I don't need the complication of finding out how to get that award to them. At a later date, if we want to deal with some of those aspects, we can worry about it. But we don't need that. Having a leaderboard or a special episode done where we do an award top 5, I think that's probably the best way to go. And I think that works for all of the types. So we've got the animation, the music, I don't think we would have to do anything for Script Frenzy. The Game Jam, the indie film. So it's animation, music, Game Jam, indie film. I think that's really mostly it, right? Alphabet Project wouldn't need it. Script Frenzy wouldn't necessarily need it. The photo book, maybe. But I feel like that doesn't even need it, really. Because the goal by the end of that point is to have something that is potentially publishable. So the ones that really need any judging would be animation, music, Game Jam, and indie film. I really think that's it. We just the 4 really need that. Everything else should be achievable with congratulations on completing the challenge certificates. I think that's fair. And that can all be they can all be done with the congratulations on completing the challenge. The 4 the animation, the music, the Game Jam, and the independent film. And I keep thinking about that photo book, but I feel like just those 4, the Game Jam and the independent film, along with the animation and the music album, those, I think we could have some judging done, and a leaderboard for those. And basically, it's optional to sign up to be judged. And if you do, the judges will examine what you've created, and I think at that point we would not want them to have any losers, but just rank our favorites. And I feel like if I could get multiple judges for each, we could do something like a top 10 for each judge. And then a top 3 or a top 5 who made it into the most judges' top 10. Something to that effect. Or anybody who enters their thing for judging, we just do a ranked list for each judge. And then an overall top 10. I think that makes the most sense. So now it becomes a question of, let's just sort of make notes where we are on this idea. So animation, music, film, and game. Each will have a judges category, judged category, and they should be a top 10. They should be anybody who's entered is ranked. Now, I imagine as these are small competitions to start with, that'll work fine the first time. If we're doing this 10 years down the road and hundreds of thousands of people are entering these competitions and thousands are entering them to be judged, it might be a little bit hard to do 1,005-minute animated shorts for each judge. But for the first round out, I feel like we could make that risk. Ranked entry list of all who choose to go into. That's not how you spell that word. And each judge gets to make their own list. An overall list is made by the sort of median, I guess. By the ones who rank highest in all of the judges. So that's really where that goes. And top 5 or top 10? Top 10 really goes the best, I think. We'll figure it out as we go, I guess. If we do it wrong the first time, then we do it wrong the first time, and we'll fix it for future versions, I guess. So that's really, I think, the best way to go about going forward with that. And that would be all others would just simply get a printable certificate. I feel like it would be fun to do something that you could show off, but that might actually. I wonder what it would cost to get. What would it cost to get? I get merit badges made. I probably could do enamel pins too. Is there a place where you can get custom? Okay, 5-star patches, custom embroidered patches. Again, everybody's got these request a quote thing. Like, just give me a general sense. Is it $30 a badge, or is it? It shouldn't be this freaking hard. You know, we could probably just do a series of like the buttons, the. Why is this a search function that is super impossible to actually achieve? These are not hard questions. Buttons. Could you frickin' just give me a price? This is stupid. This is so stupid. They shouldn't be more than 10 cents a piece. I've asked you to do something. No, I don't know. No, that's not what I asked you to do. All right, yeah, I'll have to do some research because clearly I'm not going to get a return on a search that's ever going to give me anything useful. I don't know what it is about Amazon or Google that just doesn't give you any usable data. No. That's Pinterest. That's not what I was asking you for. I'm not going to get anything. It's so stupid. Could you give me some kind of sense of information? There we go. Custom pin buttons. Shouldn't be that hard to do. Round pin buttons, square pin buttons, rectangular ones, oval, heart shape, bottle opener buttons, I guess. Customized lapel pins. Here we go. We could actually sort of do something with this. So here, this is much more workable. So, and they have prices on them. So like a round pin button would be 11 cents each. Square buttons would be 20 cents each. Rectangle 28. Oval 32. And keychain 61. Bottle opener is 19. Custom lapel pins could be 50 to, I think it's like 50 to 70, no, 52 to 70 cents per. And so die struck pins would be 52 cents. Hard enamel lapel pins would be 69. Soft enamel would be 59. And offset printed lapel pins would be 53 cents. So the two winners on that would be the die struck and the offset printed. You can also do silicone wristbands. Now, I wonder if could I open a storefront on this, or is this something I would have to do some other way? Because if I could do a storefront, I could make the design, and people could choose to buy. I could send them the link to buy. Yeah, I could do that. I could send them the link if they wanted to buy a more substantial thing than just a printed certificate. It's something to think about. I don't know. I have to really think about the details of that. But I think that's in the long run, that's the general theme I want to go for. Is the whole project is you don't have to be judged. You just create it and try to achieve the goal by the end of the month. That's every single one of these challenges. If you do achieve those challenges, you have the option of printing out your certificate of achievement, and you have the option of also entering in to be judged and having a few people judge those competitions, and then the top ranking options getting into a top 5 or top 10 video. That's decent enough. And making a merch option available. Let's see what's that's no merch options for Teespring. What are some of the others that do that? So Teespring has what kind of categories of things can you produce on Teespring? That's not what I asked for. Teespring. That was a con job and a half. I put Teespring into my search and it gave me an entirely different service. I'm like, that doesn't look right. So Teespring has pillows, posters, tapestries, socks, phone cases, accessories. So flags, beach towels, and tote bags, mugs, and apparel. Why is there something beer? Oh, I guess it's just themes. Okay. Apparel. Canvas. Oh, you can get a canvas print. So that would be like a wall canvas. So you could do something on that. So yeah, I could theoretically just open up a category of merch type stuff that people could buy at a discounted price or something like that. I mean, honestly, I could do a series of basic, I won or I participated in such and such competition. That's a basic level, and then sort of a hidden option for I can send the link to people who are winners for the option to purchase pins or other things like that. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how to rank the higher end. I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves in that point. At that point, let's just first round out, first year down the barrel. start with a very simple idea of a competition against a goal, not each other, with the option of being judged and ranked. And then at that point, if you want to buy a shirt saying that you competed in the first year of such and such competition, that's a purchasable option. But I think that's good enough. I don't have to make this more complicated than it needs to be. I think we can kind of settle on that. So I think we're 45 minutes in here. Yeah, we're almost 47 minutes into this. I think I'm going to call it there. That was sort of a brainstorming session. I think I'm going to try over the next couple of weeks, because we've got 12 competitions for the new year. I should at least give 12 videos detailing each project, each monthly project, so that it gets its own video to discuss what it does. So we've got, at this rate, we've got 20, we've got about 20 days to do 12 projects discussions, so we're good. We'll be good for trying to get that done in the course of the month. So if we do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 of the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday videos left. So not enough to do one of each that way. But we've got more than enough days left in the month for me to do each of the months coming in 2021 can be done in one of the days from here to the end of the month. I'm giving myself a little headspace because I'm sure we're going to have another day like yesterday where I just didn't get the chance to do a video other than my taste test videos. And I still can't see your comment on that. I know you posted something about too bad you don't eat sweets, and then the second half of that comment is cut off, and I can't find it. YouTube won't let me see it. I don't know what happened. I would have commented on it by now, but I can't find it. And so I don't know why it's fighting me on that one. I will try to figure it out. But in the meantime, it is time to call it for tonight. I appreciate you joining me, as always, and I want you to have a wonderful evening. Take care, and have a good night.